That's very vulnerable to international powers. The powerful corporations that are global corporations control all NPK and chemical.
Like you, if everybody can grow their food and if they are not depends on international market,
Yes.
so otherwise famine will take place.
Does he have an opinion on NPK and chemical that dominates all of Bangladesh? Depends on import. And so as I see it, it makes Bangladesh, so at any time, Bangladesh can be priced out of the market to purchase the farm agriculture inputs. So it makes all Bengali very vulnerable to whatever the few that rule the planet, and it is only a few that rule from the very top and have accumulated all of the wealth of the world. And we are basically the peasant class, anyone that isn't one of them. And currently, we're facing crisis because inflation is driving the price up of agriculture inputs in chemical farming, such that Bangladesh cannot compete to buy diminishing amounts of NPK. The globalists, by lockdown, caused the price to increase, but they destroyed the supply chain. And the supply chain has continues to deteriorate, and product from Bangladesh or to Bangladesh will become much more difficult to get. That means farming yield, crop yield, will plummet, meaning a very large part of Bangladesh will not be able to afford the little bit of food that can be produced on a farm without NPK. The soil is dead and it'll produce very little crop. So famine, and this is not just Bangladesh, it's the entire world, including the United States. The United States has many empty shelves, and it's by design. It's according to an agenda, a plan to depopulate the earth. Depopulation is written about for decades. This has been a plan. It's been developed. It's been run many early systems to test out how they would do this. And they write about it. They're not hiding this. But the media does not give any explanation. In fact, they just present a very distorted worldview that is playing into the agenda to bring global famine. Your system, which I'm very impressed by, my vision is how much of this system would feed 4 people, a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 children, having their own circle biome system so that people are able to grow their own food. So they're no longer dependent on international and even national, even regional big players. And a system that is self-sustaining, and every family grows their own food. So no longer is there a scarcity because everyone is independent of the centralized system that dominates the world today. And so this is my vision and my calculation over decades of examining the global system. And now we're at the end game. Now is the time they're pushing through the depopulation agenda. So lockdowns have played into it. The middle class is destroyed. all around the world. Only big corporations were allowed to stay open during lockdown, even here in Bangladesh. In Dhaka, where I live, if you had small roadside selling vegetables, you were not allowed to be on the street. The police come and beat you. And so they weren't. But you could go to the big mega store, like Swapno, Agora, Mina Bazaar. They could stay open. They could sell food, but not everyone else. So the middle class was destroyed. This isn't just Bangladesh. This is the entire world, except parts of Africa that refused to join in this insanity being orchestrated upon them. And they're the resistors. But Bangladesh and India, Pakistan, Belarus, Europe, all of Europe, France, Germany, they all joined in on this. USA, Canada. But there is a large uprising against this. This is a global rule, tyranny of the common people. People like you and I, all of us here. Who are we? We're just normal people, peaceful, peace-loving people, wanting to live in harmony with our neighbor and with nature. And you, sir, have created the model that can make this happen worldwide. And it can grow like wildfire, doing exactly what you've been doing. And as the people become hungry, they'll be coming here by the hundreds of thousands, wanting to learn from you. And you're in a position to lead in this crisis, because the farmers of Bangladesh will have no crop, let alone even crop to eat. Cash crop will be non-existent. And only the wealthy, big corporations will be allowed to function and make more and more people poor and a few people much more rich. And that's the system of the Royal Crown Corporation that started in Bangladesh 600 years ago when the British Crown Corp came here to commercialize trade with Europe and started subduing the people of Bengal with bond agents. They formed bond agents with the princely states, the Nawab, and took over. Nothing has changed. Partition changed nothing. It's the idea that this is a sovereign nation is absurd. The BB Bank is a global central bank owned by 13 families worldwide. And they have no desire for you and I and the people we love around us to survive. And depopulation, that's what they're doing. They have an agenda that by 2030 will reduce the population on Earth to 1 billion from 8 billion. Already, several hundred million have been killed by this system, and it's just beginning. So, I came here to see you because your system can separate the average man from the pyramid of power, where it's going up, 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 and everyone down below is left with nothing.